Hey there. All right. So, Sliders, season 5, the final season. This season is not very good. Probably is. I don't know if it's worse than season 3 or if it's better than season 3. I think those are the two weakest seasons in the show's history. Uh, it. I was looking on Wikipedia and seeing that season 4 ended probably April or something, and uh, season 5 began like 2 months later. And that's pretty quick. I guess they filmed it while season 4 was airing. And again, we have more casting changes. Jerry O'Connell, I talked about in the previous video, or maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Jerry O'Connell was trying to get more involved with Sliders, trying to get his name as an executive producer instead of just being a director or writer of episodes. And I don't think Sci-Fi or anybody else on the production set were wanting to do that. He was asking for a little bit too much. So he left, and they should have ended the show right there because, or they should have worked out something else, like some sort of movie to conclude everything. But they decided that they were going to go on without Jerry O'Connell. And as for everybody else, since Jerry was no longer on the show, they had no interest in having Charlie around. So, and I don't think he wanted to be on the show anymore either. Although I think Jerry encouraged, I think I read somewhere that he wanted Charlie to stay on, but that wasn't going to work out. The O'Connell brothers had left the show, so now it was only left with Clavon Derricks, who has been there since season 1, as Rembrandt, and Carrie Wurr as Maggie, who had been there since the last part, or last 7 episodes of season 3. And they still decide they're going to make a 5th season, add 2 new sliders, and see what happens. This is the season 5 DVD, and now what do we get for packaging? I don't know. It's better. They got a lot better here in terms of season 4. I mean, season 4's packaging was pretty good. This one is just a simple. This was a surprise when it came out. I was just looking online and I saw on Earth Prime, which is a fan site. Definitely worth checking out if you haven't seen it before. EarthPrime.com. I was doing a project in my class about science and science fiction in college, and I was going to talk about sliders in one essay I was writing, and then I saw season 5's coming out, and it said in the bottom, "No, we're not kidding. It's coming out." How weird is that? Because it had been 2008 when season 4 came out, so it was like 4 years later. They decided to release this, and I guess they figured because the show was, by this point, the show's on Netflix, so why not give the people who prefer hard copy their 5th season? So here it is. I got $10 off of this because of a coupon that I had with Amazon, and so I paid about $12, $15 for this. So yeah. So season 5. Now, in terms of reading off the episodes, the episode titles are on the discs for season 5. This is what it looks like, or an example of it looks like. So that's what it looks like. All right. Season 5 starts out with an episode called The Unstuck Man. In this episode, it begins with us being introduced to a whole bunch of new characters that we are unfamiliar with. There's this guy he's going to get ready to slide, even though he's standing in front of this little laser-looking device. There's this guy behind the back room, like in a shadow, saying, just do it as planned. Meanwhile, Rembrandt and Maggie are ready to slide off another world, and Quinn and Colin are sort of stuck behind. They're shooting guns at people, and obviously they're body doubles. So they jump into the vortex. Long story short, the vortex closes. It's only Rembrandt and Maggie, and then the guy that we saw in the beginning of the episode is there, and he claims to be Quinn Mallory. Or they're led to the place that we saw in the beginning of the episode. This person claiming to be Quinn is his double, although he looks different and he has spiky hair. For the rest of the show, they call him Mallory, I guess to avoid confusion between the two. And it turns out that the guy behind the back room in the shadows, a guy named Geiger, decided to take our Quinn and merge him with another. Why he decided to do that, I don't know. So when Rembrandt and Maggie decide to look for answers, I don't think the timer's on at all either. And luckily this place knows about sliding, so they talk to this woman named Diana Davis, and she knows quite a lot about sliding. They're just getting used to it, I think. And she explains to them what's happened to Quinn, that he's stuck inside of this other guy. And as for Colin, he's unstuck too. But so he could be lost inside of a vortex, or he could be on another world now. We don't. That's their way of writing them off, creating this new term, unstuck. I really do not like the character of Mallory. This episode is written by Peckinpah. Again, God rest his soul, but what the hell? I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. I mean, the whole science behind why Quinn is stuck inside of this other guy's body is just, I don't know. But in terms of starting the season, it's okay. It gets you pumped up for what's about to come if you're already interested in any sort of way. If you're not, then don't bother watching. And they defeat this Geiger guy who turns out to be unstuck himself. So that's why he's been hiding behind this curtain or whatever. So, and then by the end of the episode, so obvious, Mallory decides that he's going to join them because Quinn's still... And because they have no scientists in the group, because Quinn sort of filled that role, Diana joins the group too. So we have our new sliding gang. We have Rembrandt, Maggie, Mallory, and Diana. Of the sliding teams, this is probably the most boring. And it kind of hurts me to say that because I think of the two new characters, Diana could have been an interesting character. I like how they changed it, the brains of the group, or the one who knows anything about sliding being a woman, which I think is pretty cool, nice turn of events there. I don't know, I just kind of find, I really don't like Mallory because he's taken the place of one of my favorite characters, and yeah, I really don't know what to think. It's just a very strange opening episode, but towards the end it gets a little bit better. This is followed by Applied Physics. This is my favorite episode of the season, and it's one of the few good episodes from the season. This is a episode in which Diana really gets to shine. We have two things going on. One is Diana meets her double, who has a daughter and is a recent, or is split from her husband or boyfriend, or I don't know what the story is, and she feels like she wants to know more about her double. So that's sort of interesting. Meanwhile, Mallory's having flashbacks to everything that Quinn has experienced, including, pretty much the last 4 seasons of Sliders. And it's a really good episode, I have to admit. It's really good, really great writing, sci-fi writing. And we meet Geiger again for some reason. I don't know, but it's a really well-written episode, and it is my favorite of the season. This is followed by Strangers and Comrades, a Cro-Mag episode, and it's a military episode, too. Uh, Not a fan of this episode. Really don't like war settings, generally. I don't know. It's also found out we get to see the device that could potentially kill the Cro-Mags, which is a Voltron device, I think it was called. I don't know if I'm getting that right, but Strangers and Comrades, I really don't know what to think. I think they're actually on a comet, or that they're not on an Earth. I mean, that's like, I think that's what happened in the episode. That's slightly interesting. Everything else I really don't care for. So, Strangers and Comrades, don't like it. This is followed by The Great War. All I can remember about this episode is that they wore these red robes. And that the episode ended quite hilariously with them on this giant world. Like, they're at an office desk and the phone rings and it hurts their ears. I thought that was funny, but the rest of the episode, I can't really even remember it. Next up is New Gods for Old. This is an episode that's pretty good. I really like this one. Mallory has a temporary injury in which he's unable to. I mean, he used to be in. There's this backstory in the first episode of the season where we get to know that he used to be in a wheelchair, but Geiger helped him walk. And then he's got to go back in the wheelchair for a while, and this doctor's helping him out. And then they walk into this other place where everybody's sort of hippies. It's almost the 1960s, and they're all wearing white, and they're all drinking this water that's got some sort of a drug in it, or that's said to have healed Mallory or something like that. So Mallory feels like he should stay there with these people, just from taking this drug. But nope, they have to take him with them, and soon enough he's turning everybody into, he's making them all drink the Kool-Aid. This is followed by Please Press 1. I mean, looking back at it, it's probably a bad episode, but personally I kind of like it. I don't know. I find it kind of funny that it's a world where everybody has to have a card, or everything's digital, barcode, and Maggie just wants to buy some snacks, and she doesn't have any payment, so she's sucked up into this other world of people who wouldn't sign up with the system. I sort of like it, and I have a soft spot for it because I remember it airing as a rerun. This is followed by A Current Affair. Bit of a goofy episode about, I guess, their commentary or way of chipping in on the whole Monica Lewinsky scandal, or something similar to that. Somebody's making all these pictures of Maggie and I guess the president. Was he the president or a mayor or governor? He's taking all these pictures of them and making them look like he's having an affair with Maggie, and it's sort of funny. I can't remember anything else about the episode, but what it is, I think it's pretty good. This is followed by the Java Jive. I can't even remember what this. I think they're on a world where it's rehabilit. What is it? They're on a world where it's still sort of 1930s, 1940s style. Speakeasy. Rembrandt gets a job singing at a bar. I remember being very bored by this episode, so that goes to show you I can't. It's not a very good episode. So next, The Return of Maggie Beckett. Next, and that's a pretty good episode. They arrive on this world where Maggie Stubble is dead, or died somehow, and she was an astronaut, and she's got this whole museum made about her. It's interesting to see. It's a good character episode for Maggie, And from what I remember, it's a pretty good episode. That's about it. I remember enjoying it. So those are the first 9 episodes of Season 5. I will talk about the last 9 episodes of Season 5 as well as Sliders in the next.